All right, welcome back to the finals, folks. Big shout out to Penguin. He just resubbed to the channel 4 months running. Good friend of ours. I think he's staying in Korea at the MVP house right now. So, hello, sir. Hope you're doing well. But guys, spawning here at the bottom right corner of the map to kick off the finals. It's going to be Team APS, Team Axiom Professional Streamers, with the blue Protoss Crank and his teammate, Hart.
Neighbor left as Team Dead Pixels. It's the red Protoss Patience. And the purple Zerg, True.
Alright, True and Patience have proven to be a force to be reckoned with at this point. As weird as it is, like, they came into the tournament obviously a little bit, I don't know, already team-oriented in mindset. You know, lots of complementary things going on, but now we have Crank and Hart, who have been through so many best of threes at this point, that if they didn't start off working together as a team, they certainly are now just through practice. You know, get the warm-up games out of the way, so to speak. Both have played pretty darn well and certainly deserve the spot here in the finals. But again, because this was a loser's bracket tournament, guys, with a double elimination format, there are possibly 2 best of 3s. Team APS has to win 2 best of 3s to win this tournament, whereas Patience and True only have to win 1.
Oh, wow, this is so ballsy. It's not, though. Like, they're facing composition that will actually not be able to abuse this. Unlike if you're facing a Terran. So they go for both, like, Command Center first and Nexus first.
You're right, it is ballsy, but the fact that there is no Terran on the other team, it's a huge sigh of relief, because Reapers are the only thing that I think hits early enough to you to be really scared about this. Crank has 3 gated every single time on this map, and they're even going to they're going to work together to wall this off in case there was something like an early pull chipping down the rocks. This is cool, I like this.
I was wondering if they were going to do this exact same thing. It would be a different composition they would be facing, so maybe not. Well, no, they did once against a Protoss and a Zerg, didn't they? Maybe a Terran and a Zerg, I don't remember. And they lost,
I mean,
so.
To wall off over here is kind of crazy, though.
Oh, yeah, this is really cool. It is going to be useless, I think. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. By the time like they're really starting to attack each other, you know, it just seems like they're already, you know, you're not gonna be depending on walls to make you win a game, but whatever. It's cool.
Look at that, like, you think about this, so this is kind of like a regular 1v1 opening for Hart. CC first into 3 racks follow-up, he'll be able to deal with Oracles. He won't be able to defend Crank, but Crank should also be able to cover himself versus Oracle. So that eliminates the first big threat of fighting a Protoss and a Zerg. The second one is, though, we've seen a lot of Phoenix play, but it's not a Stargate out of Patience, but a Twilight Council. And it's in a bit of a cheeky spot, so maybe it's Dark Templar. Most likely, I would say Blink just because of the map laid out the way it is. Either way, both teams look like they're starting out strong, and no one really, you know, awkwardly walking into, I don't know what I'm doing, maybe I'll expand, maybe I won't.
No, I think Crank and Hart are in a really good position. To get away with this is a really big deal. Hides the Dark Shrine in another place. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, like, if there's a Reaper or scans, it'd be really hard to find. I don't know. This is kind of cool. I guess the question is, like, how does the Dark Shrine really get used, though? With them both walled off like this and a couple of scans, the likelihood of that Dark Templar catching them off guard is very low. Like, very low for this to just come in and auto-win. Crank as well. With a Stargate with Oracles, he'll have possibly Revelations, possible Envisions. I don't imagine this is going to be too hard to deal with.
I was wondering where Patience's probe was. There it is. So. Gonna have that high ground, low ground mechanic going on. Same for Crank.
Both did it, yeah. Funny to see.
But unless... Here's what I'm imagining, right? Like, okay, like even if there's a wall, the DTs can break it down before they can react. Like, hopefully they won't have a scan. And if they don't do it, then a Baneling Bus would. And, you know, if either one do it, then that just opens up the floodgates for whatever it is, Lings or DTs.
That one Marine is actually very important. It doesn't stop the rocks going down, but it does buy some time. It might kill a Ling or 2, get a lot really low.
Like the micro.
Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's cool. It's forcing True to put a lot more tension over here. Depot's down, though. Oh, he raised it. He knows. He knows.
Yeah,
what
now
do they have to fight this? Can I send for a Phoenix? Is the follow-up? No, it's the opener.
Yeah, you can Oracle. They do have an engineering base, so... turrets. You can't repair a pylon. Sorry, buddy.
You can repair. Yeah, fun fact.
You can stop it from coming to 2 of your bases, but not towards Crank's main. So rip.
Oh,
whoa!
The wall off is so sick. Hart, do you not have a scan
can buy
ready?
time. No.
No, he's like 9 energy short. Still though, with the Oracle possibly on the way with the scan coming out, this.
Oh,
he's gonna work for the Lings now though.
Oracle. Yes. Wall off again.
Heart. Oh, he's
Heart.
not happy about this.
Heart, wall off. Heart, you should have walled off again, buddy. Oh, I didn't realize I took away Warp Gate too.
Ooh.
Oh, this is still working out.
But an Overcharge should be able to hold this, but it's dealing with the Dark Templar that is the big question. Now, he
Well,
does hold that depot, he's got the turret up so the Dark Templar can't get too far in, but can he save Crank? I mean, Crank's got the Oracle almost out, he's got a cannon or two in his mineral line, looks like he will hold on to this, and again, the economy of this has allowed him to be across the map with the Phoenix, you know, picking up the Queen, doing some harass. There's nothing to stop them.
Yeah. But, you know, behind it, Patience also expanded.
Double
and,
Stargates, too.
True did expand as well. Yeah, he's going to win out the Phoenix War, so I don't know if Craig's going to stop or try and meet him. We'll see. I guess that kind of made up for how fast the expansions were for Heart and Crank. A little bit, you know. Less so about direct damage, because there wasn't a lot of direct damage, but just, like, panic. Building off the wall off. Delaying Warp Gate.
Oh, this is... Oh, what am I... this bait. All these little things are really amounting to everything in the finals. We even have weapon upgrades coming up here for Patience, which, funny enough, as we've learned from Todd, doesn't affect Phoenix fights, apparently, I guess. Or I don't really know the dynamic of it, but he will have more Phoenixes, which is going to be pretty key. He's cleaned up a lot of Crank that has cleared a lot of Overlords off the field. This is going to be the 7th one to go down. It's quite expensive for True. Who is on a gold base, though?
I think for Patience, just getting +1 because you are literally going mass air no matter what it is. Like, you can go to Void Rays later, I don't care, but you got 3 Stargates. I don't know why.
Why even make the new Mothership Core, right? Like, that's a waste of 100
Like, not
gas.
yet, right? Like, you know the Phoenix are going to be okay. It looks like the other side of the field has finally been cleaned up. I mean, Oracle did pop out. One thing that I don't think Crank noticed, it took me a while to notice, was that his Warp Gate has not been researching this entire time. It was depowered when the pylon was
He's
attacked.
got all these gateways, he just filled 2.
Does he not? Like, he's like probably wondering, did I cancel it on accident? Or
Oh,
okay,
Craig. Okay, he's trying to get a pile down. Oh, no, he rallied it, but it didn't.
No. Okay.
Stupid
Move,
Marines! Oh my god, they're pushing the probe further away. If I'm Craig right now, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. But Phoenix is still clearing up a couple of the Overlords. The problem is with these, with Patience going into his own Phoenix production here, Oracles, drops, like, these are all going to start falling off, and they're the biggest advantage that Heart and Crank really have right now.
Oh, don't pull in. Oh, it's a couple more kills for the Oracle.
He gets about 9 before dying, though, so I'd still say worth it. Pathogen glands out of True is very interesting, though. It's not like Crank is going for super air heavy compositions himself. It will be good against Marines to hold them in place, I suppose, but yeah, fungal growth seems like an odd choice. Poor Crank. Oh god, that cyber, like, Warp Tech finishing now. Do you think, okay, honest question here. Do you think it would have been better to have just, like, lost the cyber core and rebuilt that in the main and started immediately realizing consciously it had died and not finished? Or do you think it's better like this, where it still doesn't finish?
It didn't really matter. Like, you didn't crucially need the Warp Gates, so either one was fine.
I guess.
What he should have done was just use the gateways as gateways if it's going to take that long.
Yeah, just starbow it up, you know, just get a lot of,
Yeah, Starbow, not Brood War. Get out of my face, quickly.
I didn't play Brood War, dude, so it's starbow for me.
Get out of my face, please.
Alright, Phoenixes are going to run around. Heart does have a new command center up, but it's not really protected. I think he'll probably turn this into a planetary, maybe, if he's really worried about this. Yeah. Can't blame him. Third base planetary. In 1v1s, we scoff at these people, but 2v2s is actually totally viable.
Totally legit. We forgive you. Yeah. What are the supplies looking like right here? Crank, again, very low supply, but he always is.
Well, Patience is really low supply, too, though.
Well, I think both Processes are always looking towards that end game composition, which of course is a lot of very good units, but a small amount of them. So they don't really start to get the army supply until later, and that's been consistent for Crank every single game, unless they did an all-in like the 3-gate or the Blink Stalker attack. He just, you know.
Well, you know, Heart and Crank, they open with a greedier opening, and they got away with it for a time. But now we're moving to the mid to late game, and True's starting to take a lot more bases. He's going to have double golds. Patience will be able to take a third here in just a moment's time. I mean, this actually kind of starts looking a little bit worse for Heart and Crank. If they can't get something done now, this army lead that they have at the moment will be, well, quite frankly, temporary.
I feel like it's kind of neutral. Like, it's going into a very regular game.
I don't know. True, I think, he's the type of Zerg player that'll snowball quick if you give him the opportunity.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be so hard to decide, right? Because it's not a 1v1.
Well, you know, fungals are going to be really good to have. There's no question about this. whether it's stopping the Zealots from charging
Man,
forward or catching the
I
Marines.
really wish he had Banelings.
That's what I
To
was
see the
just
Zealots
thinking.
die.
The Roaches might not cut it here. I guess he killed a Zealot. I think it was a Changeling. It's awkward.
I feel like the Roaches just won't
Oh,
be very
supply
helpful.
block.
Right?
Oh, is that why he killed a Zealot to build another Colossus?
Whoa. So the 2v2 overlay doesn't stop at 200 as a supply. It keeps going.
I don't think it's actually allowed over 200 though.
No, I'm pretty sure it's not.
Just yeah, reads the information differently, I suppose. Fungal growth keeps the Zealots in place. There was no charge available for this. Really unfortunate.
This is not a good fight.
This is
Back
really
up.
not a good fight. It takes out one of the Phoenix. That's kind of nice, I guess, but you know, Crank lost everything on those front lines, and well, a lot of that was Zealots. We do have the drops going off. This is what's starting to look a little bit better. Kills one of the gold bases with the Zealots. He might kill the other one. The drops are gonna run around for a little bit. These Phoenix are gonna be dragged right on top of the Widow Mines, but they don't go off on the Phoenix. They go off on the Roaches.
Yeah, this
He well
is good
pushes
damage. They get 3 bases
Yeah.
for a portion of their army.
Colossus does he's not able to fight with, of course, support. We do have more fungal growth, and Hearts gotta be careful how much he overextends through this. But this was a good way to tear down their opponents, put them back on foot, like square footing, because now they're both on 2 bases once again.
Oh yeah.
Whereas
that was
Heart,
really-
I guess, and Crank have the advantage with that third.
taking either one's bases, I think would have been good, but that was fantastic.
Now there are Colossus and fungal growth are gonna hold everything in place for the Colossus. This is run for it, Heart.
Neither of Crank nor
no
Heart are
detection.
getting anti-air. I mean, I know Phoenixes are hard to deal with, but
I think they're hoping the Marines will cover it.
I
They
don't
are.
know.
They're doing a great job here on the left side. Most of them are taken out.
Marauders, like he should really go into a more Marauder-heavy army. I mean, he's facing Roach Hydra, so Marauders, and Colossus, and Protoss in general, Marauders. These amount of Marines are disappointing.
I would agree. Crank's keeping up with the harassment though really well. These pylons on the other side of the map are
Yeah.
serving him well, but hopefully he doesn't invest too much on the other side of the map. He still has about 800 minerals in his bank, but he's got to start defending something at home. Marines will serve well for a
Colossus.
time, but yeah, the Colossus are like a hard counter to this.
So Crank has a couple of Colossus.
Oh,
so
okay.
He can hold on. I think, it's gonna be pretty much a. They're both probably gonna kill each other's army eventually, but it's like how much damage do each other do with the counterattacks going on right now and the main attack
Spreading.
happening
Gonna get
here.
on top of the Colossus. I mean, there's Zealots to charge right in, but the Marines are just
the Marines.
melting.
God, Marines are bad against
I mean,
Colossus.
picking up and dropping on top of this directly might be better. I don't know. But weeding out the Roaches on the side, the
They're just
Zealots went out
gonna
really well.
Yeah, they're just gonna straight up hold, and with flying colors, still a lot of bio army left over.
Oh,
Didn't
he's
get
gonna-
completely melted.
Now he
A
can chase down this
counterattack would be
Colossus.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, these Zealots have been the MVP of this game. I gotta tell you, like, for as little as it looks like Crank has been doing, because Heart's been the one with the bigger, flashier army, chasing down the Colossus, stimming through these, it's Crank shutting down these expansions. It's keeping True off of double golds. That's winning them this game. And Crank, well, Crank is kind of secretly the MVP, even though Heart's like the guy who's had the big army for most of this.
They both synergize very well. Hart constantly taking on the main agent by himself to allow Crank to get the harassment.
Yep. And it's been a
Very
really
good 2v2 play.
good decision making too of not over dedicating to fights. Like Hart constantly running away from these engagements, not because he's scared, but because he knows it's a tactical advantage to back up and wait or buy time or whatever the case may be. But 2 Colossus and this many Marauders will certainly be enough to get on top of the Colossus. And well, they're starting to lose some of the momentum. It's still just going strong. Again, more Zealots warping in from the side for Crank. Just rallied across the map. Widowmine's moving forward. I don't even know if there's any detection left at this point outside of fungal growths.
Little Widowmine shots.
This is such a small army left over, but it's enough. There's nothing left. GG. Team Dead Pixels will fall in the first game, and Team APS will lead the series 1-0.